No, hold on. This is 5 Minutes Funnier. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to. I'm your host, Jimmy England. What's more important, being on stage or what you do off stage? There seems to be, within the comic community, a sense that being on stage is the most important thing in the world. And there's no argument that's true to some degree. It helps you gain confidence. It helps you learn how to interact with your audience a little better. It improves your delivery, and you definitely make connections within the comic community, and that is extremely important. However, you also have to write. You also have to spend some time behind the scenes, and not everybody does that. Now, there are comedians who do go out there and they are performing a lot. I mean, they're out multiple times, and they are, unfortunately, at times doing the same old material that isn't really as good as it needs to be. They just simply go out and do it over and over again, and they're very good at doing bad material. But the problem is that that's not really the kind of comedian that you need to be if you want to be a success. You have to have that delivery, you have to have that confidence, but you also have to have really good material. Which means there are times when you need to turn down gigs, times when you should stay home, and instead of saying, well, I'm going to go to this open mic tonight, say I'm going to stay home and spend half an hour going through my set, writing new material, freshening things up, learning it, because that is just as important as being on stage. It is really a balancing act. You don't want to have too much stage time, not enough writing, or too much writing, not enough stage time. You really have to balance the two. And unfortunately, with a lot of comedians, they weigh the performance as being much more important than the work that goes into the material that's going to be used in the performance. I've seen people go on stage trying out concepts, but they haven't worked out the wording. They'll sometimes go out there and they just get all fumble-mouthed and what have you, and the joke never comes off. And quite often they'll go, oh, I guess that didn't work. I guess I shouldn't do that one again. Well, it might have worked if you understood what it was you were trying to say. Oddly enough, one of the things that can stop you from writing is a big laugh. If you feel that you have written the funniest joke you can possibly write, it becomes daunting to sit down at that computer or at that notebook and try and come up with something that's actually going to top that. You can't develop this feeling that you've already reached the pinnacle of your success when it comes to jokes. You have to approach it with the idea that your funniest joke is still to come. If you do that, it gets a lot easier to write. It doesn't get easy to write. You'll write a lot of crap, but the best is yet to come. Whether you are a gifted writer or you're somebody who struggles with writing, if you do not write constantly, you will never improve as a writer. And everybody can get better at it, but you have to do it. You have to work at it. Writing all the time is possibly the most important thing a struggling comedian can do. Let's not even say struggling comedians only. Any comedian, you have to write all the time. There's no getting around it. The weird thing about comedy is that it's one of those disciplines, and it is a discipline where you really have to apply yourself to be good at it. When you look at it, it seems to be all about chaos and anarchy, but that's not the case at all, because behind all that chaos and anarchy, which is the jokes, which is whatever we do on stage, there's a lot of thought and preparation that goes into it. It's one of those weird things that the harder it is, the easier it looks. Well, that's it for me, Jimmy England, for 5 Minutes Funnier. I hope you got something out of that. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. And share us with your friends. I'm sure you have friends. Anyway, stay funny, everybody.